Hi, in this lesson we are going to learn about materials. This is the introduction class for 3ds Max Material Editor. That how we can apply material, how we can create textures. So we're going to learn all those things from now. And in this lesson I'm going to give you the introduction that how we can use Material Editor to apply the texture on particular object. So let's go ahead and go to the Material Editor here, and this is your editor where you can create materials. This looks a little complicated, but trust me, this is not that complicated. It's very easy to use. The 3ds Max Material Editor is very nice than the other software, which is what I believe is this thing, because for architecture I'm more comfortable in this than other things, than other software like Maya or Cinema 4D. So let's go ahead and start looking at these things. Now here you can see these balls, these circles, okay, the spheres you can see. These are called your slots where you will create your material. Okay, you can see when I'm clicking here the settings are changing. You have these settings for all individual slots here. So let's start with this first thing. Now this is a scene. Let me render and show you the basic lighting, 3-point lighting I have done here, and I have created this vase here, nothing else, but this is empty. Right, so we are going to learn on this thing. So what I'll do is I'll just select this region so we can render only these things. Okay, so select your slot, and the very first thing here you can see is diffuse. Now diffuse means color. That means you can give any color to your object. You can go here and you can choose any color you want. Right now it is changing here because by default this is applied here. Okay, so let me just undo, select this one and give another slot to this. Right, when this type of pop-up appear here, you can just go here and just rename it. If this comes, this is coming here for a reason which you will learn in later lecture. I'll show you why these things appear. Right, as I have already created this scene, so that's why that was showing here, because this particular slot I by mistake applied in both of these things. So now you can see this particular thing I only applied this. Now how to apply your texture, I'll show you in a moment. Okay, so first thing I would like to see is this, and now this is already applied, so let me show you this first. Like if I'm working with this slot and I want to create the texture for this vase, first there are two things. Like you select your object, for example this vase, select your slot and click here, assign material to selection. So this slot will apply on this, or you can direct click on your slot and drag and drop. Either will work fine. Go to the diffuse and change the color, and you can see the color is changing here. So when you render, you will see a different color now. Okay, so this thing, diffuse, that means color. You can give here any color you want to your object. Let me give something like this, something dark, little dark. Okay. Nice. On this option we will look in later lecture when we will apply some maps here. This small button you can see are called maps, right? We'll see you in next lecture these things. Now, two things we are going to see today in this introduction lecture, and that is reflection, this reflect, and the refract. Okay, now how these will work. Before that, let me show you something. Whenever you select your slot and when you start creating something, always rename here. When you select, it will show you something like this: default 1, default 2, default 3. Alright, this is my vase. Okay, and this you can see here is the floor. You can hear the azan right now, I guess, in the recording. Actually, I'm recording this lecture in the morning. It's here 4:41 a.m. Okay, so let's this azan finished, and I'll get back to you in 2 minutes. Alright, so the first thing we are going to see now is reflect. How this reflect works. Right now you can see this object is flat, right, because we have given only flat color. But if you want depth, you need little reflection. Now it depends on what exactly you are creating, like plastic, ceramic, okay, leather. Everything, every object is having a different reflectivity. Okay, for now I'm just giving you introduction to this. From next lecture we will be creating different textures using these things. So the reflection works with black and white color. Black means there is no reflection. But if you click here and if you say white, that means full reflection. Okay, by default in 3ds Max this Fresnel reflection is always on in 2016, so just off this for now. Alright, we are not going to see for now this thing, so don't forget to off this. So what I was saying is, when it is black, you can see it is flat object, but when you give reflection, that is full white. Now white means full reflection. That means when you render, you will see chrome. You can see here, this can be a mirror. Okay, you can see the environment is reflecting there. You can see these two lights here, which I'm having this side and this side, and this is the black environment which is in the front. Okay, and this is the floor here, right? This is here in the edge, you can see this background. So this is the full reflection. Right now we are looking at this vase. So how you can manage, how you can adjust this. So this is the bar, value bar here, and this is the value. Either you type value, that how much you want, or you can just play with the color. As I said, the black means no reflection. Let's create a little reflection. So you will have little reflection on your vase. So you can see it's look like ceramic. Okay, so this is how this reflection works here. Now down there you can see this glossiness. why we use this glossiness, how we use this. Now glossiness is having default value of 1 and this is the maximum value. Why we use glossiness? To blur the reflections. For now there is no blur. It is full intensity there. But if I want to decrease this, if I want to blur these reflections, that means in a simpler way I can say that if you want to create matte materials, this is right now glossy vase. If you want matte effect, you have to blur the reflection. So I'll just decrease by 0.1. I'll make it 0.9, and you will see here you have this specular here, right? Let's render and see what happens to this. And you can see this is a little blur than before. If I decrease a little more, like 0.8, you see this is increasing. That means the blur is increasing. This will be more blurred. See? Okay, let me do something here. Let me make this one again, and let's create two vases here. Sorry. Okay. And let's go back to our PDF frame buffer here and do something like this and render. So we have these two vases here. Okay. Now, one is this one with reflection. I'll copy this here by dragging it here, and I'll type here vase 2, and I'll apply this material vase 2 on this one, and in this material I will make this 0.8. So you'll see the difference. Okay, not much, but still you can see the depth here. See, this is more reflective than this. This is blurred now. You can see the edges, right? You can see here. Let me decrease more, like 0.6. You can see here, see this one and see this one. Now you can have semi-gloss or matte this thing. Now I think this is applied on both. I have to select this one and apply on this one. I'm sorry. What is happening when I duplicate this? I made instance, so that's why this is applying on both. Let me go here and click here. So this is now not instance. This is a copy of this. So this first material should be on this. Second material should be on this. Let me render now, and you will have the difference. Great. Okay, so you can see this slot is full glossy and this one is at matte. Why? Because of this glossiness. Okay, so here we have decreased and here we have full glossiness, right? So this is how you can blur your reflections. Then you have this Fresnel. Now how this Fresnel works. The Fresnel is something like you can decay your reflections. It will not be so sharp. What happens will be somewhere the reflection will be visible and somewhere there will be no reflection. For example, if you have a wall here, okay, or right now if you are sitting at your workspace, and when you see your wall, you will see where there is a light, direct light. That part is reflecting, but the other part is not reflecting. Okay, so when you move the camera, the reflection will change. Alright, that's how the Fresnel effect works. Let me create one more here. Okay, my copy turned instance, and let's drag this one, type was3, and drag it here. Alright, and I will make this one same this one. Okay, let's render. Cool. This both are same for now. But when I on this Fresnel, you'll see the difference here. See, the reflection is decay. Now this is not matte like this, right? But the reflection is not much. It's not what you can see is the intensity is not so high for this reflection. Okay. This is how this Fresnel works, and we have Fresnel IOR here. We'll use this in next lecture when we will create some different textures with these things. Right now we are, as I said, just looking at this options, as this is introduction. We'll create some ceramic, plastic, rubber, all those materials. So we'll see how we can use all these things. Then here you have refract. So let's use this, and just go here and just write reflection. This refraction will work in the same way. Black, no reflection, but full is like full transparent. Okay, see, now you can see this shape and these things here, and it looks like glass because we have full reflection. That is because we have some reflection also. If you remove the reflection, then this glass vase might not be visible. So always have some reflections on glass. I will give you more detail on it when we will create a glass material in the later lectures. Okay, let me remove the Fresnel and see the difference. So you will have a sharp, see, reflections. So the difference, you can see the difference of Fresnel. Fresnel will not blur your reflection. Reflection will be there, but it will be dimmed. The decay effect will be there, right? Then refraction also having a glossiness. That means you can blur the refraction. So you can see here right now we have this vase here. Let's copy this one. Sorry, yeah, copy. We have already here, and this one is here. Now how this will work? Sorry for that sound. That sound was my mobile sound. Okay, it was an alarm. So let's go ahead and drag this area and render. So we just copy that one here. Okay, now rather than rendering all these things again and again, what I'll do, I'll now select only this two. Okay, so let's copy this. This one was 3, so this one was 4. Okay, apply this on this, and let's blur the refraction. That means refraction is very sharp right now, you can see here. If you decrease this one, you will have matte effect on your glass. And remember, when you have refraction in the scene or reflection, especially chrome, this will take a long time to render. Now you see the effect. See? Okay. Like if I want to decrease more, you'll see more blur refraction. And as you will decrease your glossiness, your render time will increase. It will affect a lot. See, this part is taking much more time. See now, more blurred effect. Alright, so this is how this things works. Okay, so for now, this is enough for this class. Just go ahead and apply material, play with the reflection, glossiness, Fresnel refraction here, glossiness. Okay. In the next lecture, we are going to start with creating materials with these things. And we'll see how this thing works. Alright. So I'll see you in the next lecture.